Good morning, everybody. Even if you hate me, I still love you. As long as you like the video and subscribe. And send me all your super chats. Good morning, everybody. It's 6:45, going to work. That's right. Somebody actually asked me, they said, "Hey, strong man, why are you going to work at 6:45? It's tax season, boyo. I work from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Then I go to the gym. Then I cook dinner. Then I make a YouTube video and go to bed. Anyway, welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. You know me, Christopher Belly, certified CPA accountant, long-term boglehead investor, author of the book Stop Being a Broke Loser. It's on Amazon. And a hater of Jeremy LaFoo-Foo. So I got up this morning, walked downstairs, butt naked, sat on the couch, and watched a Jeremy LaFoo-Foo video, because that's how I like to wake up in the morning. Nothing wakes me up more than hearing the knowledge, wisdom, and all-around brilliance of financial education. And he put out a video where he said, "Don't celebrate just yet," or something like that. Now, I was watching the video, and he basically pulled up a string of stocks that he owns or is thinking about owning. Tattoo Taint, trash company. Honest My Bonest, complete another trash. But the stock went up. Smile Direct, ungodly trash. Facebook, blah, 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 blah. Now, he was basically just talking about the condition of the market. And his thesis is, and he says this all the time, is small caps historically are undervalued or are fairly valued. And he pulls up this chart from like Gardini Research, where it shows it's either the PE or the forward PE of small caps as a whole. And he says, look how cheap it is. And if you look at the chart, he's 100% right. Because historically, if stocks get an index gets decimated and it becomes insanely cheap, there will be some reversion to, where it should be. So he pulls up the chart and it's like, okay, I can totally see that small caps are extremely cheap now. Now, what he does is he uses that chart to not justify himself into buying the index. He instead uses that chart to buy a bunch of trash, unprofitable, garbage stocks, okay? You need to understand, just because the index is trading cheaply by a historic metric does not mean that you can just pick a couple of those stocks out of the index and expect them to mirror the index as a whole. Because if you look at an index, it's really, it's not an average, but most indices are market cap weighted. So when you look at the price to earnings ratio as a whole of an index, which, God, actually, I bet that's not too hard to calculate. If you look at it, it really reflects, we'll call it the average. I don't know all these statistical numbers, but larger stocks, their PE gives more weight to the index than smaller cap stocks. So basically, let's say you had a small cap index and there were just a couple dominant companies in there with really low PEs. And then the rest of the companies were just complete and utter trash or didn't have PEs at all. Well, those massive companies, those larger companies, would basically be the entire index. It's kind of like the QQQ or even VTI. Those companies would comprise the majority of the index. So you can't look at that index and think, wow, my garbage small cap stock, whatever it is going to rocket to the moon because the index, which is composed of a lot of stocks, is cheap by historical methods. That's where his logic is ungodly flawed. If you're going to buy an individual stock, which just keep to 5% of your portfolio, in my humble opinion, who am I? I'm just a CPA. Accountants suck at investing because they can read about balance sheets. Because they can read the balance sheets. Yeah, okay. Who am I? Now, Jesus, what was I saying? If you're going to buy an individual stock, you need to actually look at it in and of itself. don't look at the freaking index and take the index's PE ratio and use that to decide as a buying metric to buy your stock. Look at the stock. Look at the financial statements. Look at the income statement. Look at the balance sheet. Look at the statement of cash flows. Look at historical profitability metrics. Use some reasonable assumptions. Project those into the future and use the time value of money to figure out what a good buy point is for your stock. Okay, that's the only way you can do it for an individual stock. I mean, I guess you can do other things, price of sales, but no. You cannot look at the index as a whole and draw a conclusion about your stock. I think Jeremy's in for a rude awakening, but whatever. His stocks went up yesterday. It was like one of my best days in the market. Nothing changed about your companies, loser. Nothing at all changed about your companies. They're still unprofitable trash, and they've all been decimated. Good Lord. Now, another thing is he told you not to celebrate too yet. And this is where he really pissed me off this morning. I actually wasn't going to make a video because I'm freaking tired. But right before I turned the TV off, because I have to go to work, I have a job, like a total chump. I'm an employee. I'm not a businessman. Everybody's got a business except for me. You just learn skills without doing any work as an employee. You just get a skill and yeah, self-employed. Jeremy really pissed me off this morning because he said he's such an idiot. Oh my God, this guy is such a freaking clown. He's kind of disgusting, actually. He told his fans not to celebrate because Honest and a couple other stocks went up. And the reason he said that was because he wants you to continue to buy those stocks. The whole point of his message wasn't that, oh my God, I think the stocks are going to go down again. What he's saying is those stocks are still cheap, way, way, way undervalued and cheap based on, I don't know how he gets his price targets going into the future. What he's saying is you need to keep buying the stocks. He is imploring you to buy all the trash stocks that he has been pumping. Because he's saying, yeah, even though they went up, a couple percentage points, they're still cheap and they're going to be so much higher in the future. Well, no, that's 100% a fallacy, okay? I believe if you want to play, if you want to trade or make a bet on small caps, you should buy the index. But you should not be buying Honest and Smile Direct Club and Tattooed Trucker's Taint because you think the index is cheap. And it's pretty toxic of him to basically implore his fans to just keep buying the stocks that he's been pumping. And it almost seems to me, he's not, I don't really know. There's a certain point where I think if you start pumping smaller stocks, you turn into a complete and utter scumbag, especially if you have a large following. But he's basically imploring his fans to keep buying and buying and buying, and really it benefits him. Because a lot of his stocks are just retail stocks. They're retail stocks. You think Wall Street's in a lot of these stupid garbage stocks? If they were, they sold out pretty recently. No, it's all retail. So what he's doing is he's telling retail, his fans, to buy the stocks that he's been buying because it benefits him, all right? Oh, he's bullish. Yeah, he needs to recover his losses because he's been freaking decimated. Look how desperate he is. He's freaking, competing with me, the VT. I have, less than 5,000 subscribers. He's freaking doing all these free intro courses to suck people in. He's doing sponsorships now. This guy's desperate, all right? And what he wants to do is screw you one last time by having you buy the stocks that he's been pumping because it benefits him. It's pretty gross. But I don't know. I don't know how much influence Jeremy has. The only thing that I really thought was funny was when Tattooed Chef had such a horrible quarter, the stock didn't even plummet. I was like, okay, this has got to be 100% controlled by retail. I don't know. Maybe there are some institutions in Tattooed Taint, but when that stock didn't move on earnings, I was like, okay, this is a freaking retail stock, 100%. But yeah, be very careful with what this clown's telling you. If you want to play small caps, buy the index, okay? I don't do that. I just buy total world indexes, but whatever, because I own them anyway. But don't let this fool convince you to buy these stocks because the index is cheap. The index and individual stocks are totally different things. Anyway, that's it. Going to work like a loser. Talk to you later. Cheers.